You guys like Death Battle? Do you guys like when I talk about Death Battle? I get the feeling you like when I talk Death Battle. So let's talk about Death Battle.
I don't.
Shut up, Don.
I hate Death Battle. Death Battle is the worst show ever devised. They're biased against all my favorite characters, and they're doing it specifically to slight me.
Every time I hear something like that, I just imagine fucking Kamen Rider Decades like da-da, da-da, theme playing. Just the dramatic speech music. So, if you can't read the title, I'm impressed you clicked on the video. My thumbnails aren't that attractive. But we're going to be ranking death battles based on how good we think the justification for the fight is, or the reason they fight, the intro to the fight, the story, basically.
Season 1, I feel like, is going to have a pretty f***ing rough time with this.
The only one I can think of, off the top of my head, with a story is Goku Superman, and that's going pretty far down the bottom.
I feel like you're forgetting, let's settle this, Tubby.
Right, yeah, that's one too. Oh, Vegeta Shadows is fun. We'll get there when we get there. So we got the tiers, basically perfect, good enough, bad, atrocious, and then they just showed up and fought for no reason. And we're ranking these on how in character it is, how creative it is, how like good the concept is, and also how it's executed.
Also, is it a valid reason for you to fight?
Yeah, like, especially a fight to the death.
Because it's like, some of them will be in character, and it's like, yeah, character A may throw hands over this, but character B, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely going to depend on, like, who instigated it as well. Like, Steven Starr is an example, but, like, I don't really see Steven instigating it. But Starr did attack first, and
we'll get there.
He's just in self-defense. But yeah, we'll get there. We start with Boba Fett versus Samus Aran, where Slave One flies in, shoots down Samus' ship, and then they fight.
I have to assume it was probably a contract, but, like, that much isn't told to us, so it's more or less them fighting because...
Fight, yeah. Shang Tsung versus Akuma. Akuma walks in a straight line, and Shang Tsung teleports underneath him, and then they fight.
Well, see, the thing is, for Akuma at least, that's a little in line, because if he has even the slightest iota of who Shang Tsung is, Akuma's a pugilist by nature. If he's like, this guy could survive me punching him in the mouth, he's gonna punch that guy in the mouth.
Yeah, it's just Shang Tsung's side's a bit off. That's the whole thing. Why would he just...
Yeah.
He's like, they even go in about how he's sneaky and all that in the episode. It's like, that's not sneaky. That's just showing up in front of a guy that can kick your ass and going, I want to fight you. That is pretty in character for Shang Tsung, but that's not because that's his personality. That's because Mortal Kombat's got bad writing. Alright, Rogue versus Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is flying... Oh no, Rogue is flying, and the Wonder Woman just fucking kicks her out of the sky, and then they fight. Right?
Nah.
Goomba versus Koopa. They literally just show up and fight. Like, that's the most literal... They show up and fight.
I mean, were it like anything other than, one of Bowser's army, Goomba would be pretty on-site. Like, he doesn't tend to like people that much, but they're usually pretty cool with Koopas, so it's out of character.
Hagar versus Zangief. This one is funny.
As we see in Street Fighter 6, the way that Metro Cities run is just random strangers will beat the shit out of each other on the street because that's just how the Street Fighter world works. Going up to someone and challenging them to a fight is more or less like... It's not even like shaking hands, it's beyond that. Like, just walking past someone is a good enough reason to, alright, let's fucking brawl.
My only problem, though, is that is retroactive justification.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, Final Fight was always kind of like that, where it's just like, whoever's in the way is getting hit.
I guess I can put it in...
Plus, Zangief and Hagar, I think at that point, had met each other in the Udon comics.
They are like,
it wouldn't be too long until they did.
They are sort of rivals, like, generally.
Yeah.
Just Hagar always bodies Zangief hilariously, so I'll put it in good enough just because of...
So they know each other.
Yeah, they're canonic. They're like those 3 same series matchups in a row, technically, with Goomba, Koopa, Hagar, Zangief, and Turtle Royale. Turtle Royale goes to the bottom, by the way. They just kind of showed up and fought for no reason.
Yeah, they're like, yo, what if we tried to kill each other today? That'd be kind of audacious,
dude.
Right? And they're
Let's
like,
do it, bro!
Yeah, I guess I don't have anything else going on today.
And then Zitz Leonardo, if I remember correctly, Leonardo was just walking and Zitz just kind of shows up. Or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like to justify that in my mind by the way that Boomstick phrased it, of the Battletoad strategies beat the shit out of anything that moves.
Yeah, but that is just they showed up.
He's triggered by movement, goes up and just starts trying to beat him to death.
Zitz versus a T-Rex. Yoshi versus Riptor. I think again.
Riptor's just kind of a fucking feral, violent animal, isn't it?
Yeah, but like it's I gotta put it in the bottom of like they just showed up and fought for no reason, because it's not even like they try to make it look like it's just because she's feral. It's literally just because it has to happen. Felicia versus Taukaka. That was the.
I feel like the initial reason they fight
right?
isn't much of a thing. Well, no, the butterfly happens in the middle of a fight.
No, wasn't she like distracted at the start and like bumps into Taukaka and then they scream at each other?
Something like that, and then at some point the fucking butterfly comes in, and then they stop fighting to chase it, and then Taukaka fucking slices it in half.
Yeah, that episode is so middling, but the butterfly stuff is genuinely funny. Because, like, they are just that stupid, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess with Felicia, it depends on...
Taukaka more so, but Felicia's pretty ADHD coded, at least. Taukaka's just fucking got, like, a brain cell flipping around inside of her head like a DVD screensaver.
Yeah. Okay, I'm checking the fight again. Yes. It literally starts because Felicia gets distracted by the butterfly, jumps at and accidentally headbutts Taukaka, and Taukaka gets pissed off and, like, gets mad at her. That's pretty in character for Taukaka, I gotta say.
It's still so weird to me how early in this show Taukaka, of all characters, got used.
Taukaka got in this early. That is crazy to think about.
Taukaka made it before Batman did.
I mean, you say that as if Rogue isn't the first Marvel character we had.
Yeah, honestly.
Honestly, I think Felicia Taukaka is good enough, at least. It is mostly banking on the fact that they are kind of daft.
You bumped into me. Prepare to die.
Honestly, if there's a character that wasn't like Taukaka, it'd be like, that's a bit much, but it is Taukaka. And at that point, Felicia is just fighting back, because Taukaka does make the first attack as well. So, I'd say it's good. I wouldn't say it's perfect. I'd say it's just good. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Kratos versus Spawn. If I'm not mistaken, Spawn just shows up, and then they decide to fight.
That sounds about right. I think that's how it happened. He for lack of a better term, spawns in, and Kratos is like, I'm gonna fucking get you.
Yeah, Bomberman versus Dig Dug, they're both just there and they fight.
Yeah.
Okay, Vegeta versus Shadow. The first one that actually has personality.
It mostly boils down to Vegeta going, oh shit, a rat! And then Shadow's like, I'm no rat, I'm the coolest. And then they fight.
I mean, are you gonna act like that's not in line? Just the fact that Vegeta is so arrogant that when this little bugger with no ki at all, so Vegeta literally can't sense anything in him, is just like, I'm the ultimate this and that. You're not special.
I like the way the 1 minute melee does, where Shadow shows up, Vegeta turns around and is like, alright, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell are you supposed to be?
I think that's about as fitting. That's what happened in the death battle too, actually.
Form.
Where Shadow's like, you're the source of that incredible power sense I had. That certainly sounds like me. What? What are you?
That certainly sounds... Oh.
Like, I'd say it's pretty in line, honestly. At least for, like, Z-era Vegeta. Because this is, like, a Vegeta who, like, peaks at Super Saiyan 1, actually, is the only one he uses in the fight.
What the f***? Is that a fucking cat?
Yeah, and Shadow is that kind of arrogant I don't know why I was going to say doorknob.
Yeah, classic doorknob. He's kind of built like one.
So, it's at least in good. I'm trying to think if there's a better way to start the fight that's not just going overly edgy and serious.
Nah, I mean, that was, especially at the time, just kind of the appeal of the characters.
I think that's basically perfect for, like, that era of Vegeta and, like, Shadow in general being portrayed as
especially because it seems like they were leaning a good bit into Team 4-Star Vegeta.
Yeah. Mario versus Sonic. Sonic shows up, Mario's like, Mario says with Sonic's like, let's settle this, as if they got, like, some long-standing beef and aren't, like, canonically friends.
Let's settle this, Tubby. Let's go.
I gotta say, is that bad or atrocious? It's definitely one of them. It's pretty out of character.
I don't think it's out of character. I don't think it's atrocious because there's at least some precedent for why they're doing it. Because it's like, yeah, the let's settle this is in reference to real world shit, but at least it happened for a reason. I'm sure there's going to be a couple death battles where whatever they're talking about just doesn't make any kind of fucking sense.
Yeah. Luke, Harry, they just show up and fight. Chun-Li versus Mai Shiranui, they just show up and fight.
Yep.
Starscream versus Rainbow Dash is weird.
I feel like Chun-Li versus Maya is also one of those that kind of retroactively, just because, like, that's how Street Fighter, and to a lesser extent King of Fighters / Fatal Fury works.
Yeah, but in the case of Chun-Li, you can't just randomly attack her, like in Street Fighter 6. She is, like, she doesn't do that.
That is assaulting a cop.
I don't see the problem.
No, I mean, it's like you say you can't just do that. I'm like, well, technically, yeah, that is a crime.
Also, like, she doesn't.
I mean, assault of any kind is a crime.
Yeah, assault of any kind is a crime. You can just randomly assault cops in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, you can.
So it's
but don't do that in real life. Viewers at home, don't do that.
As not like don't assault cops, don't assault anyone. Period. Please.
Real life isn't Street Fighter.
Shockingly enough, sure isn't. But Chun-Li doesn't do that in the game. Like, she is just kind of there. She doesn't go around fighting people. She's pretty chill. So
in Street Fighter 6, yeah, she's teaching a class. You show up and she's like, "Oh, you want to join my class? Let's fight and see how good you are."
Yeah. At least with, like, Zangief, even though you can't just randomly attack him. Your first cutscene with him is him just beating up some guy. 2 of them, in fact.
Yeah, so in Street Fighter 4, I'm pretty sure it is, somebody is, like, moping. I think it's Abel is outside moping in front of, like, a yakisoba shop or something like that. And he comes out and he's like, "Why are you crying, comrade? Know what always makes me feel better? Fighting!" And then it starts and they just start fighting. And then they get over it, and Abel's like, "Yeah, I guess that helps." Where it's like, Zangief's first instinct in literally any situation is to just grapple the obstacle.
So it fits Zangief. Doesn't really fit Chun-Li. She's a bit more reserved. Because otherwise, like, Cammy just randomly attacking someone would be considered justified, and that is pretty not like her.
Honestly, Mortal Kombat characters are more like that, where half of the cutscenes in Mortal Kombat are, "Hey, you're not me, f*** you," and then they fight.
"Hey, Jax, I kinda wanna fuck Sonya. What'd you say, Johnny? I'm gonna break your back for that." Just happens. That's just a canon thing that happens.
"Ah, Haven, my brother. I'm your long-lost purple brother. I want to be the king of everything. I don't have time for this. Die."
Alright, Starscream Rainbow Dash. This one's weird because there's no reason for them to be in the same place, but I also kind of do get G1 cartoon Starscream just deciding to kill this horse because it's there.
I just imagine him fucking sitting in a field not doing anything. He just looks to the side, there's just a field, he looks to his other side, there's a horse, he's like,
Yeah. People got really mad when Starscream was, like, a proper menace in the recent comics, and it's like, Starscream being, like, having good sides and having some, like, niceness to him is not a super consistent thing. Sometimes he does, and sometimes he's just the biggest douchebag around. Like, either one is completely in line with Starscream's history.
Yeah, and it's like, it's funny because it's not even like, you couldn't even call him like a through and through bastard the way that like a pure evil character like Frieza is, because it's like, when Frieza does shit, he's doing that because he's Frieza, he's the overlord, he's fucking evil. But when it's Starscream, a lot of the time it's just like, fuck everyone that's not me. I'm upset about my circumstances, and that's everyone else's problem.
Yeah, I mean, depending, like, Cybertron Starscream does just try to kill God because he wants to. He doesn't succeed.
It'd be like that. Sometimes it's one of those days.
I feel like Starscream Rainbow Dash is like, it's good enough for what it is. The only problem is that there's no reason for Rainbow Dash to be there. But if she, like, saw a flyer of, this is a super fast jet that's faster than you, I could totally see her picking a fight over that for no reason beyond she wants to.
Someone leaves a random fucking sign around that says, specifically you, this jet is faster.
Yeah. Master Chief versus
And she's
Doom.
like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, I mean, like, at least later season, Rainbow Dash is just kind of a bitch. So, Master Chief versus Doom Guy.
Mm-hmm.
They showed up and fought.
I see no reason for Doom Guy to assume Chief was a part of the armies of hell, or a reason for Chief to assume that he was, like, I guess, like, a forerunner.
I think what most likely would happen if they just walked into each other, Chief would ask him to identify himself, and Doom Guy would try to just walk past without saying anything. I could see that.
At most, like, he probably wouldn't even be like, identify yourself. He'd probably just be like, I don't recognize that armor. Where are you from? And then, Doom Guy probably wouldn't say anything. He would either just ignore him or menacingly cock his shotgun.
Yeah, I could see it leading to a fight, but it definitely wouldn't just happen without without Doom Guy being an obstinate dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think the fight would be resolved pretty quickly. Not just because Doom Guy is so much stronger, but because I think that, like, some bullshit would happen and they'd have to team up to kill something. Or they wouldn't have to, but they would decide to.
Dude, I'd pay so much money to see that team up. That'd be so fucking cool.
That would be sick, yeah. I think they just showed up and fought for no reason. Eggman Wily is also they show up to fight for no reason, but it does kind of seem like they organized this in advance to just show off who's better.
Yeah, they're declaring war.
Like, this is not just they showed up coincidentally. This is like Eggman wrote up a diss track and put it on the internet, and Wily just was not having it.
Everybody, I have an announcement to make. Dr. Wily is a bitch-ass motherfucker.
I don't know why I just imagined Wily doing fucking Hitler's rap, but it's just I am.
Bro, you big bald cunt.
Yeah, just that. I think this is.
Well, like, I specifically imagine him doing the fucking real-time fan dub. I have an announcement to make. Dr. Wily's a bitch-ass motherfucker. That motherfucker f***ed my wife. He said his was this big.
Yeah, I think Eggman Wily's good
All
enough.
systems, full power.
Zelda versus Peach. I think they just showed up.
I'm pretty sure they just show up and start fighting.
Same with Thor versus Raiden. Thor just shows up and they fight, which Raiden is the one Mortal Kombat character that sometimes doesn't do that. It's like the one Mortal Kombat character that isn't going to immediately fight you on sight, like 50% of the time.
No way. I don't believe this.
Link Cloud, the original, I do not remember. I think they were just there. They didn't even show up.
Yeah, they're just in this place. It goes fight, and then they go towards each other.
Batman versus Spider-Man. Like, I mean, I think that's... Like, I think that almost goes in the realm of outright atrocious, because they don't even show up to fight each other. They're just already there, and for some reason, they decide to kill one another. That's pretty bad. Because, like, there is dialogue, and it's just Spider-Man insulting him.
Mm-hmm. Having fun yet?
Yeah, I'd say that's honestly kind of atrocious given who the characters are. Like, just who they are. Pikachu versus Blanca. I kind of want to say good enough, because like, I know it's meant to be Ash's Pikachu, but Ash isn't there. So, Blanca just shows up and picks a fight with this random creature. That seems fitting. And Pikachu as a Pokemon just instantly decides to fight when something bumps into him.
Yeah, well, the thing about that is sometimes Ash's Pikachu takes charge of a situation, specifically whenever, like, Togepi or something's around, but sometimes it'll also just fucking... Yeah, sometimes it'll just run away. But I do think the idea is funny of Jimmy coming across this fucking 1-foot-tall electric rodent and going, "A rat! Kill it!"
We've got a rat problem, I'll fix this.
There's a rat problem.
Alright, Goku Superman. Now, if it wasn't for that intro sequence, you'd almost have, like, an argument in favor of it, of if it was just Goku thought he was strong and decided to pick a fight. you'd almost have something there. But the fucking intro...
See, the thing is, both ways about it, it kind of doesn't hit for me. Because obviously with him being like, he's an alien, it's only a matter of time before he destroys the planet. Obviously that doesn't make fucking sense. Because most of Goku's friends at this point are aliens. Or were built to destroy the planet. And even with the, hey, you're strong, let's fight. He's like, I don't really want to. And then Goku just fucking attacks him anyway. Typically, unless it's either done for the sake of a bit or it's Dragon Ball Super absolutely butchering Goku's character, if someone says they don't want to fight, Goku's not just going to swing on him anyway.
So you're saying this is retroactively justified, like Hagar Zangief?
Yeah, if you take Dragon Ball Super into account.
This is GT
where,
Goku. Like, this is like firmly GT Goku.
Yeah, GT Goku would not do that. GT Goku absolutely would not just swing on somebody who told them they did not want to fight.
Yeah.
The only instance I can think of Goku just swinging on someone out of nowhere is when he first sees Kami on the lookout. He tries to take a swing at him because he thinks he's King Piccolo, and then when he first meets the Elder Kai, he's like, oh, he's the Elder Kai. He's like the oldest and wisest god ever. He must be super powerful, so he shoots a ki blast and almost fucking kills him. But that's clearly done for the sake of the bit.
Yeah. I think without the intro, it would be only a bit off, but at least the core concept of they fight because Goku wants to fight is a thing that can happen. But when you have that intro that firmly establishes everyone knows that Superman is a savior, but Goku decides to kill him because he's racist. That's... no. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, actually. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, no.
He-Man Lion-O.
It's like, Goku, you're an alien that was sent to destroy the planet.
Yeah. He-Man Lion-O. Now, okay. They just fight because Lion-O's a moron, and He-Man is also a moron.
Yeah.
And you know what? For
Which I wouldn't have it any other way.
That probably fits. I can't say basically perfect because I feel like Lion-O probably isn't that dense. I mean, he might be, but... Actually, given the reason they fight... No,
well, because you gotta keep in mind, Lion-O's still a kid, technically.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in basically perfect just because I think it's funny. But if any Thundercats fans are annoyed and think it's pretty out of character for original cartoon Lion-O, do let me know. Shao Kahn versus M. Bison.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, in the comic crossover, the reason they fight is He-Man's being mind-controlled. Lion-O's like, come to your senses, and He-Man's like, raw!
I love that fight, because Lion-O's like, holy shit, this guy could fucking kill me and everyone else at any moment if we're not careful. Because He-Man's just a monster.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even trying to portray them on the same level of power. He-Man was going to rip him apart.
Yeah. Well, the best part of that comic is Skeletor and Mumra just trying to fight over who gets to control the body. That's just great.
Yeah.
Mumra the ever-drooling! What a zinger. Wow, he got it with that one. That was a real Saruman the Stinky moment.
I can write a book about what you don't know.
Alright, Shao Kahn
I love the bit where he fucking knocks on Trapjaw's head and he goes, just as I thought, hollow!
Skeletor's great. He-Man...
Shao Kahn and Bison are absolutely the type of motherfucker to just beat the shit out of someone on the street.
I think it's basically perfect that Shao Kahn is just there, and then M. Bison, for basically no reason, but because he's got either a massive dick or a tiny dick, depending on how you look at it, just decides to kill one of them. And Shao Kahn's like, hey, yo! Why not? I think it's basically perfect. Like, for
he's
these
like,
two...
I've been sitting here a while.
They are basically that shallow. Ryu versus Strider.
They kill a couple guys and then they see each other. They're like, oh, another enemy.
Like, they're both killing the same
guy.
guy.
Yeah, it is one guy, isn't it? Who am I thinking of? Am I thinking of Bane versus Venom?
No.
No, because the guys are working with Bane.
We'll figure it out when we get to it, I'm sure. Ryu Strider is... I feel like Ryu is not that dumb to think that he's working with the other guy. I mean, I guess it could just be they want to cover their tracks, but they're really not good at that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Strider well enough. I mean, actually, from what I know, Strider is just kind of a kill anything that moves kind of guy when it comes to his
Most
job.
of the Strider fights explodes after he cuts it in half, so he's not exactly, the quiet type.
I guess it's just going to be they showed up and fought for no reason, because there's really no reason for them to fight there. And Ivy versus Orchid is kind of just the same.
Mm-hmm.
Fox Bucky. Okay. Now, the reason for Fox to fight, I'd say, is pretty fucking justified. He's pretty on the ball for that one.
I think it's really funny how they just... I think it's funny, first of all, that they even know there's a toad in there. But then they're also like, fuck whoever these other guys are. We're gonna single out the toad and f***ing kill him.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a tier for, like, just funny. Like, not necessarily good, but just funny. And of course the tier's gotta be purple. Because that's the funny color. Just funny. And that's where I'm gonna put purple. Fox Bucky. Because I can't say it's good. Because I don't know Bucky well enough to know if he would just fly in and massacre a toad in a ship for no reason. Just because it's a toad. I mean, his enemy is Robot Hitler, for God's sake. Okay.
Right.
Terminator RoboCop is basically perfect. Like, that's super on brand. Like, the Terminator shows
comes
up
in, stirs shit up, and RoboCop's a cop, so...
Yeah, I'd say that one, yeah, like, no notes. You did good. Luigi Tails. Tails flies onto a pipe and Luigi comes out of it and they fight. There's no reason.
Yeah, nope.
I can't really measure Vegeta Mewtwo. I'm just going to put that in funny. Okay, Pokemon Battle Royale. I mean, if we're being honest, that's
just Pokemon.
Yeah, it's basically perfect. They like I give it that rating because they fed them a bunch of rare candies to get them that high, so there was no like trainer influence on any of their stats. So nice. Fulgor Sector.
Yeah.
Sector is running in a straight line and heads straight into Fulgor while he's invisible, and then they fight.
I mean, I think there's a pretty good justification for this, in that Sector is just a massive asshole.
Oh, yeah, Sector would. My only question is whether Fulgor... I mean, yeah, Fulgor probably would too. This guy just runs into him.
Yeah, I mean, Fulgor has no qualms about killing most people he's up against, so let alone this random red asshole that bumps into him and then decides, I will kill this guy.
I'm gonna put in good, not perfect, because perfect would include Sector saying something stupid to try and sound cool. And Sector didn't do that. Godzilla versus Gamera. I mean, Godzilla shows up to do a rampage and Gamera shows up to save the day. Like, what else do you do?
Say again?
Godzilla versus Gamera. So you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you do but Godzilla shows up to rampage and Gamera shows up to save the day? You can't really do it the other way around. Batman versus Captain America.
That sentence cut, like, super in and out for me.
Well, I'm just going to say that Godzilla Gamera has basically the perfect, like, intro. Because like, what else do you do?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, especially because, like, there's a good handful of versions of Godzilla that just show up and then whatever's in the vicinity is getting murdered.
Yeah. So Batman, Captain America. If I remember correctly, they just show up and fight.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I'm going to put in atrocious again, because that's not Batman.
Or Cap.
Yeah. Tigerzord Epion. It's funny.
I feel like they try to ham up the reason, and, like... Yeah, it's definitely funny. I feel like to some extent it captures both the overactedness of Power Rangers and the, like, huge melodrama in Gundam Wing.
Yeah, I think the problem is that, like...
So, like,
Zex
I think it's relatively on brand.
Zex is incredibly out of character. Just in, like, the whole fight. Even in the situation he's in, he'd still
Mhm.
mostly maintain calm. But that's more of a problem with the overall fight as opposed to just the intro.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. It's not good though. I mean, in Tommy's case, I think it's fine. Like, I don't see like a problem there because he did kill someone by complete accident and then doesn't know, so he can't like. I can't be like, well, he's being such an asshole about this. Like, he doesn't fucking know that. He doesn't fucking know that Noin's dead.
Mhm.
Or that someone is dead. He doesn't know who Noin is. Ryu Scorpion.
He's just like, oh shit, is that a bird? Oh, that's a robot.
Yeah. Ryu Scorpion. I mean, on Ryu's side, that's completely on brand, and honestly, on Scorpion's side, that's completely on brand. So.
Yeah, makes sense.
I was gonna put in good because I do think there is like an argument to be made that Scorpion, depending on incarnation, isn't like that. But generally, it's like, yeah, that's fine. Deadpool versus Deathstroke.
Mhm.
They fight because there's a bounty on both of them.
Yeah, like
And-
that's about as good of a reason as you need for either of them to fight whoever. There's
Yeah.
nobody Deathstroke won't fight for a bounty.
Plus the bonus of Deadpool really is just petty enough to whine about the smallest thing.
I fucking like. I understand entirely why a lot of people really don't like Damian Wayne, but every now and then he does something that's just funny enough. Where fucking Deathstroke shows up to assassinate him, and he's like, "How much did you get paid? I will I am the richest kid in the world. I will triple whatever they paid you to leave me alone." And Deathstroke is like, "Money's money, sure."
That seems about on brand.
And it's like, what is my employer gonna do? I'm Deathstroke.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Alright, Kirby.
Who are they gonna send after me?
Yeah, I mean, there's not. Well, no, they're not gonna send anyone after him. They're not gonna fight him themselves.
He said Kirby Majin Buu.
Yep, it starts because Majin Buu is a menace, and Kirby eats his food, and he just gets pissed off and attacks him for it.
Checks out.
Yeah, I'd say that's. What else do you do? Ragnar versus Soul.
Boo being a stubborn asshole. I think when did that death battle come out?
I don't. Super wasn't out yet. I don't even think like Battle of Gods was out when Kirby Buu came out.
I don't think so. But I don't think Battle of Gods was too far down the line where, you know, Beers wouldn't have got as angry as he did if Boo wasn't a fucking selfish prick about his food.
Yeah, I think it's pretty perfect. Like, Boo is just like that. And Kirby is just like that, too. Alright, Ragnar Soul. Soul comes across the bounty, Ragnar walks past, and Soul's like, "Oi!" And Ragnar's like, "Fuck you, man!" And Soul attacks him.
That's such a funny exchange. It's just like, hey, and it's like, fuck, die.
Yeah. It probably isn't, like, perfectly in character, but I could definitely see if they had a crossover, that would be, like, a bit that they do. That would be a bit.
It makes me think of fucking Dragon Ball Z Kai Abridged, where it's fucking Jiro trying to pull his like sleeve out of Yamcha's ribs. Goku's like, "Do you need some help?" He's like, "How dare you! 19 kill him!"
Yeah. I think it's good. It's definitely a good reason for them to fight, but it's definitely more of like a bit thing than like something that would genuinely happen like in a serious storyline with them.
Mm.
Except for Ragnar telling him to fuck off on sight. Like, that's pretty on brand.
He's like, "Listen, I can tell by the way you're dressed that you're gonna cause me some kind of trouble. I don't want any. Please just leave me alone."
Yeah. Toph versus Gara. Toph Gara is not. I'm not feeling that one.
No.
Toph showing up on sacred ground without realizing, fine. Gara telling her to leave.
Well, see, that's so weird because in a lot of versus animations across like 1 minute melee, across death battle, across other stuff, there's a trend of Naruto characters being like, "You're somewhere you're not allowed to be, so I'm gonna either fight you or try to make you come with me for interrogation." And it's like, when the fuck has that plot point ever been used in Naruto?
Yeah. I mean, Gara's just telling her to leave.
I don't...
Like, he's on the low end.
It's like,
compared to,
what
Kakashi.
sacred ground is there that's like the most unholy place in Naruto's world is the village of sand. Everything is fucked there.
This is sacred sand. I love this sand.
I was born on this sand.
I don't know why I just did the steamed ham from Fogara, but steamed sands.
I hope you're ready for an unforgettable luncheon.
And then Toph just decides to tell him to go fuck himself. Like, that's I don't know about that one. If it really was sacred ground, I think Toph would be like, "Oh, sorry.
This is my favorite spot of sand. Fuck off. I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye."
Yeah, that's atrocious. But Boba Samus Remastered is perfect. Like,
I think I've seen that episode like twice ever.
Okay. Boba has a hit on Samus and attacks her. That's the implication. And Boba Fett
checks out.
Boba Fett does regularly breach the bounty hunter code of conduct in Star Wars that prevents bounty hunters from attacking each other. Boba Fett will regularly break that for his own gain, as long as no one's around to see it, or sometimes even if someone's around to see it. So he just does not give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get the vibe from the way that Vader turns to him and goes, "No disintegrations." That this is a guy who, like, you need to tell him pretty sternly, don't. I'm telling you, don't do this. If you do it, I'm gonna be real upset. He's like, I'm probably gonna do it.
Yeah, you make him sound more like an adorable like goblin than he probably is. But I would prefer Boba Fett if he was just like a goblin.
I know you told me not to do it, but realistically, I'm gonna do it, and you're gonna pay me anyway.
I really want to do it. That's the thing. Like, I really want.
Like, I know I'm not supposed to disintegrate them, but like, it's so cool. Have you ever seen a guy disintegrate? Have you ever seen like the way he just turns into vapor? Like, I don't know, dude. If you've seen it, like, maybe you're on board with me. Maybe you'll forgive me.
Yeah, like I want that Boba Fett, but we don't get that Boba Fett. All right, Chuck Norris versus Sega de Sanshiro. I mean, what else would it be? But Chuck Norris gets annoyed at the commercials, and Sega de Sanshiro shows up to kick his ass.
Yeah, I mean, that's as much as you need.
That is perfect. What else do you do? I didn't even say make better dialogue, because the dialogue of just play Sega Saturn, no. That's like, yeah, fine. Guts Nightmare. I'm trying to think. So Nightmare somehow completes the Soul Edge by turning it into Soul Calibur 4 Soul Edge, which is not what it looks like. And then Guts just shows up and is like,
I did all of the kibbles and bits, now my sword is complete. And Guts is like, I'm gonna fucking be badass and walk through these woods, and if you're in my way, I'll get you.
I think the most out of character part of it is that Guts sees a demon, and his first thought is, can you please move, instead of, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like maybe Black Swordsman or like Lost Children arc Guts, that would make more sense, but like...
But I mean, like, take one fucking look at Nightmare.
Yeah, like, obviously that's a fucking demon. But Conviction arc onwards, like, he's met enough apostles that have, like, some sort of thing about him, that especially if he's alone, I don't know that he's gonna just charge into that fight, like, first thing. Because it's like, he eventually gets to a point where he understands, like, I kind of need my friends around, or I'm gonna end up eating shit and dying. And then, especially with characters like Zod, he's like, okay, so some of them can be reasoned with.
Now that you've mentioned it, I actually don't know what the manga was up to at the time of this episode coming out.
I have to imagine it was, because let me think, it's Conviction, Millennium Empire, and then fucking Fairy Island or something like that.
It would be really funny if Guts was on the boat during this episode.
Was.
If he was just on the boat when this episode came out, that would be funny.
That would be really funny.
I think Guts Nightmare, that's basically perfect, to be honest, just for who they are. Like, it's such an easy one to... And honestly, Iron Man Lex Luthor coming right after, that's also pretty perfect. Lex Luthor just goes in to steal shit, and Iron Man's like, fuck off, mate. And Lex Luthor's like, no, you. Beast Goliath is atrocious.
What is?
Beast Goliath.
Okay. I maybe it's just the way that Discord relayed that, but I heard Bayeth, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Bayeth?
For Bayeth versus
Beast
Goliath is very bad. Because the implication is that Beast stood there waiting.
I mean, that one's notorious for just completely fucking missing the point of both characters, even what they establish in that, but at the same time,
I can't
it's
just
that
say
way
they showed up
because
before,
of external circumstances. So.
I can't say they just showed up for no reason, because Beast was actively waiting for Goliath to, like, awaken, to fight him. He wasn't there to kill Goliath, I guess, because he would have done that while he was waiting.
Yeah.
Snake versus Sam. I'd say that's basically perfect. Like,
yeah, that's one of the best death battle setups out there.
Yep. Darth Vader versus Doctor Doom. I mean, it's pretty on brand for Doom to just sort of show up and be like, "Fuck you, man."
I'm the coolest ever. Give me all of this technology.
Yeah, I'd say it's good.
No. Then you must die.
Yeah, it's good. Goku Superman 2. It's not good. I mean, it's really just not.
No. I resurrected you from the dead and restored the planet, so don't do that again. I'm gonna.
And also, it gets extra worse points because it implies that either Goku learned how to do Super Saiyan God in the afterlife, which, doubt, or he always had and just decided not to use God or Blue.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong versus Knuckles.
It's what fucking Knuckles eats one of his bananas and Donkey Kong just decides to beat him to death.
Yeah, Knuckles is hungry. He can't read the sign that says no bananas, which is not accurate, but that's a Boom thing. And then, an inconsistent Boom thing at that. And then, he eats it, and Donkey Kong gets so mad he blows up his own banana horde in fury.
Yeah, his sheer rage.
The only, like...
I think that makes enough sense for Donkey Kong, depending on the game.
The only off-brand thing is Knuckles not being able to read the sign, but I could just see Knuckles, hungry, pile of food, just decides to go eat one, because he can't see Donkey Kong is the thing. He doesn't know that DK's there.
Yeah. Oh, it's also like, Knuckles isn't the kind of guy that would really think twice about just a pile of bananas.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He'd be like...
Or he's like, fuck it, I'm hungry. If there's consequences, I can beat them.
That's convenient. A pile of bananas.
He's like, I'm Knuckles. Whatever consequences may come, they will lose.
They will get the Knuckles.
Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle.
That is probably a perfect... I don't think you could do a better... Because the other option is Donkey Kong is interested in the Master Emerald and goes for that, which is slightly south of believable. So, yeah, no notes. Wolverine Raiden. They just fight because.
More or less.
And while Wolverine is an asshole, if they're both, like, visibly targeting the same thing, I think it's reasonable that Wolverine would be like, I ain't got time for you, bub.
I haven't killed something in about 40 seconds. I feel like this guy could work.
I don't know if Raiden is the kind of guy to just attack someone because he showed up and he has metal in his hands and hasn't shown any hostility towards him.
Whoa, hand knives. That's kind of freaky. Want to die?
What?
What? Fight!
What? No! What? What's going on? I think...
Shippujin Raikyaku!
I don't think it's atrocious because there are comics that portray Wolverine as just a massive asshole. But I think, like, for inconsistency's sake, it's a bit off-brand for him to just be up for a fight instead of, like, I got better things to do, mate. I got better things. So I just think I think it's a pretty bad justification, just given who they are. But it's not super bad because there is a little wiggle room for it. Hercule versus Dan Hibiki.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty good.
It's perfect. Like, what else do you do? But I mean, I think the funniest implication is that Dan made it to that point in the tournament, as in any part of the tournament, and not just knocked out in the tryouts. That is the funniest part of that whole setup to me. Is that idea? Someone got bodied by Dan Hibiki before this happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Glass Joe like thing where it's like for this guy to have any kind of notoriety as a fighter, someone lost.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone lost that fight.
I wasn't it like a pretty big character who like lost to Glass Joe as as a complete fucking accident.
I think it was either Gabby J or one of the later fighters, like before they got as big as they did.
Yeah,
I think it was Gabby J though.
I'm just gonna look it up. Who did Glass Joe beat? The official Nintendo magazine claims that Glass Joe defeated Nick Bruiser in an accident.
Oh yeah, Nick Bruiser
That's
is the fucking he's the
Yeah.
final boss of Super Punch Out.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's funnier. He took out the big boss by complete fucking accident. He just did a thing and like an anvil dropped on his head. And they were just like, yeah, that counts as a win, sure.
I mean, to be fair, Hercule beat one of his opponents because they shit themselves.
I mean, Hercule's like I could see Hercule kicking the crap out of someone pretty succinctly if they weren't like a Dragon Ball superhuman. Dan Ibiki, you could probably take out your average Joe, but like, and now that we know that Metro City is full of like genuinely skilled fighters all over the place, I think Dan's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's a fucking pugilist. I think it's funny. Someone had posted a Twitter question of who would win between Videl and Yor Forger from Spy Family, and Dadodoya of Dragon Ball Content, Three Idiots, etc. Made the comment: Videl's dad drug like 3 tour buses behind him and then punched a hole through one of them. I'm not betting against that genetic freak of a family.
Oh yeah, I've seen that actually. I've seen that. Yeah. I did see that.
I'm like, yeah. He knows. He knows what's up.
I guess, I mean, if you were to like genuinely argue it, you would argue, does Videl have a feat to beat out Your Forge's like stupid like outlier feat if you were to use that? I think it's like Videl.
Probably.
I mean, I'd imagine she probably would. Oh, of course.
Yeah,
like she was able to escape the wrath of Broly, so you know, she speed blitzes at least.
I mean, fucking Spopovich's insane beatdown didn't kill her, so...
Yeah, she lives through that. That's... yeah, I don't imagine a normal person would manage that, you know, probably not.
No. A normal person, Spopovich, could probably just flick and they die.
Yeah. Yang versus Tifa. Now, as the Ruby Watcher here,
you say that like I haven't seen, like, 6 volumes of the show.
Yeah, you've, like, watched none of it. I really don't see it.
I saw everything that was out up to the time this episode came out.
Early volume Yang, I mean, like, from the yellow trailer, maybe, but... The thing is that, like...
I mean, you've even talked on this channel about how the setup doesn't make any sense of dude trying to card her because she's a minor. She walks in, or not a minor, just underage for drinking, walks in and then starts beating the shit out of people, and Tifa's like, excuse me? No, that's not gonna fly.
Tifa's side, I think, is fine. But the whole setup revolves around Yang punches a nice guy for doing his job. He's not doing anything wrong. She beats up Torian for no reason. And when she actually did this whole entering a bar thing, she got in without a problem. She had like a fake ID that worked. And like she wasn't beating up anyone until like the guy, I mean, I guess she felt like it, but I would say it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately this bouncer had background check materia, so fake ID is not going to work this time.
The other reason it's not going in atrocious is because like Tifa's side is perfectly fine, and depending on the volume, Yang is just an asshole. Mega Man Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Mega Man shows up. Mega Man shows up, and then they just fight.
Yeah. I mean, like, if we're taking realistic depictions of both of them go through the arc as a character of, you know, they're kind of equipped to and have a responsibility to fight their fellow robots, but would rather do literally anything else. They fucking hate fighting.
Yeah. So, not quite on brand. Green Arrow Hawkeye, Green Arrow tries to sneak into a building, and Hawkeye shoots the fucking handle, and then starts shooting at him. Now, I kind of get it. Hawkeye making the assumption that Green Arrow is doing something villainous when Green Arrow probably was just trying to sneak into his own house to avoid being caught. Or something like that. Probably not his own house. He probably lives in a fucking mansion, but, like, I could see it. I can see it. You know, Green Arrow trying to sneak into a place and
Hawkeye stops him. He's like, not only am I gonna kill you, I'm gonna steal your wife.
Yeah, I mean, the ending, I mean, that's weird. I think Green Arrow Hawkeye's good enough. It's just good enough.
Mm.
Pokemon Digimon. Is Red that
I find
stupid?
I find it kind of funny. Red's not that stupid. Because Red wouldn't just start fucking fighting someone that's actively saying, why are you fighting us? Please stop. But it is kind of funny of like, oh, a Pokemon, let's get it. And Agumon's like, oh!
I think that part's
He's
fine.
like, what the fuck?
The part of, like, Red running in to try to catch it because he thinks it's a Pokemon, that's fine. But...
And then, him is like, okay, we gotta battle it. And Ty's like, who the fuck are you? Why are you hitting my friend?
Yeah. I think it's funny, if not necessarily that in character. Because Red's the guy that people get exclamation marks towards and then attack, not the guy who gets the exclamation mark himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Red would never instigate a fight of his own volition.
Yeah, unless it's a
Even on the top of Mount Silver, you have to talk to him before he'll fight you.
Yeah. He only does that
You
with,
have
like,
to initiate it.
with, like, gym leaders, because that's, like, what the gym leader does. Or against, like, criminals, like, Giovanni.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, that's a case of, like, that's different circumstances. And now we're through Season 2. Dante Bayonetta. Dante shows up looking for a thing, probably already aware that it's in Bayonetta. They act all coy to one another, and then they start fighting because they know that their objectives don't align.
See, the thing is, I could absolutely buy them just deciding to fight because it's cool, because it would look good.
And I think that the story justification is pretty fitting. Dante's got a mission to get a thing. He knows it's in Bayonetta. Bayonetta doesn't want him to have that thing. They don't really care why. They're trying to do what they do. They don't give a shit. They're just like, we are opposed to each other. Let's fight. I was like, yeah. I mean, yeah. Dante would do that. Bayonetta would do that. That's pretty perfect from what I know of them. Bowser Ganon. A bunch of shy guys have managed to steal the Triforce of Power, and Bowser wants it, and then Ganondorf shows up and decides to punch him in the nuts.
For 1,000 years I lay dormant. Who dares awake my slumber? And Bowser's like, showtime! And just fights him.
I honestly think it's good enough. Like, to be honest, it could be better, and it's not necessarily perfect, because I think you could do something way funnier with just Ganondorf being as serious as he is, and Bowser just being a fucking goober. But
it's like, fun. Especially in the RPGs, Bowser's not above, like, taking someone at a cursory glance as punchable and then punching them.
Yeah. I think it would be funnier if Bowser just sort of showed up and Ganondorf was trying to do a monologue and Bowser just fucking socks him.
Bowser comes in and hits the F smash.
Imagine he fucking hits him because, like, he was here to fight a giant pig and he just didn't realize that Ganondorf was that pig and he thinks he's just some guy. I could totally see that.
He's like, who are you? I'm busy.
I'm here to fight the villains of Angry Birds.
He's like, what's an Angry Bird? And then he gets drop kicked.
Yeah, so I think you could do better, but for what it is, it's fine. Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter. Everyone I know who really knows these characters tells me that it's just not correct.
For Ratchet and Clank, absolutely not. Ratchet and Clank aren't the kind of guys that would just fucking fight someone for no reason. Jack and Daxter I could buy a little more, because it's like, everybody in the Jack and Daxter games is a little bit of an asshole. Just a little bit.
I think I put it in just funny, because it is amusing that they just fight because an accident happens, and then it explodes, and then Clank is accidentally racist. Comedy.
Yeah.
Flash vs. Quicksilver.
Accidental racism is the funniest kind.
Yeah, I mean, that is not inherently wrong. You know, because intentional racism is not... That doesn't tend to be that funny. Flash Quicksilver.
Yeah. Let's race to Japan.
I want to put that in basically perfect because there's plenty of like stories where Barry Allen really just would do that because he knows he's fast enough. I don't want to put it. Actually, no, I can't put it in perfect because I feel like more consistently he would save the girl, and then race, and Quicksilver would just be really fucking annoyed with him, but do it anyway because now he's just his pride on the line. But I'd say it's good. I think it's definitely fun. Joker Sweet Tooth. Joker finds the Batmobile and spray paints it, and then he steals ice cream that Sweet Tooth holds out for no reason. And then Sweet Tooth's like, or Needles is like, "Fuck you, you fucking dick."
So for Needles' end, that makes sense. There's several times he's threatened somebody's life over ice cream. For the Joker, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like somehow he's not quite Jokery enough because it's like, he definitely is fun. He's a fun character to watch in the death battle. But I don't think it really gets across, like, it portrays him too much of just like a goofy little goblin going around playing little tricks on people rather than a fucking insane person who tortures people for fun because he thinks it's funny.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like, would this happen? Would Joker do that?
Joker probably wouldn't fucking drive by and steal someone's ice cream. That's like a Gru shit. Gru would do that. I don't think the Joker would.
I think
I could see the Joker drive by and then just fucking shoot somebody.
I could put it in just funny because it is
just
funny.
Take pot shots at an ice cream truck because he's bored.
It is amusing, if not good.
Yeah, it is funny.
Mewtwo versus Shadow. No.
It's funny because it's like the fucking PlayStation All-Stars rival fight between Kratos and Needles is Kratos' fucking blade coming through and knocking his ice cream off the cone, and then he goes and he like, kneel and plead for forgiveness. He's like, fucking pick that up and beg for forgiveness, and Kratos is like, no, you will die.
Just Mario, no.
No. It's so funny that Kratos comes along. Look at this fucking dude. And he knocks over his ice cream, and Needles, without missing a beat, is like, you're gonna fucking pick that up, you're gonna beg for forgiveness, and I'm gonna kill you anyway.
Kratos is like, no, he's like, you should fucking apologize. And Kratos is like, no, I'm gonna double down.
It's like, do you know who I am? He's like, it doesn't matter. You knocked over my ice cream.
I just imagine, like, it doesn't matter. And then 5 minutes later, Needles on his, like, deathbed, and he's like, it mattered.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. 5 minutes later, he's having, like, a fucking, like, half a mountain thrown at him, and he's like, oh, it mattered. It mattered.
It mattered a lot. He jumps in his
He gets inside of his big ice cream mech, and Kratos just fucking rips it apart.
I have made an error.
Like, I imagine he gets into the ice cream truck, it turns into a big robot. He goes to punch Kratos, and Kratos just, like, with one arm rips the arm off and just fucking swats away the ice cream truck. And then he's like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. I miscalculated. Kratos comes flying in with the fucking, with the wings of Icarus and the Nemean Kestis on his arms. And he's just like, oh, no.
Whoops.
Here, have an ice cream free of charge.
Tries to bribe him.
Tries to bribe him with an ice cream.
Imagine he, like, holds out the ice cream and then it just melts because the blades of chaos are on fire at the time.
Yeah, fucking, he holds out the ice cream, Kratos fucking rips off his own arm, still holding the ice cream, and impales him with it. He's like, I just wanted my ice cream back. You succeeded.
Yeah, I can see that. With that era of Kratos, yeah. They should have done Kratos versus Sweet Tooth instead of Joker versus Sweet Tooth. That would have been funnier.
Fucking Sweet Tooth just running for his life from this 6'4" Greek man.
Shit.
It's so funny because it's like in the first missions of God of War 1, when you're on the Nemean Sea and like the Hydra's showing up and whatnot. There's people running back and forth, like running for their lives, and when you're playing as Kratos, you can just pick them up and rip them in half with your bare hands.
Yeah, for no reason.
It's like, yeah, because at that point, Kratos is just fucking evil and insane.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're moving on to Mewtwo versus Shadow. And this is, like, very specifically anime Mewtwo as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, I kind of don't... Like, Mewtwo is a bit of an obstinate asshole when it comes to people, like, walking into his place. But... I don't know if he just start a fight.
Get out of my room.
I mean, I guess I could see him, like Shadow's about to kill a Pokemon. And Mewtwo's like, oi! Excuse me?
Get out of my room, strange creature. No, I'm the coolest. Fuck you.
I want to say good enough, but, like, the execution of it, just because of the voice acting, does leave a little to be desired.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's kind of bad, but I get what it's going for. Meta Carolina. Carolina is doing her training, and then the meta shows up and decides to kill her.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
That's good
from
enough,
Carolina's, like, for the meta, that makes sense. For the meta, that makes sense because he is going around killing all the other members of Freelancer. That's what he does. And Carolina would know exactly who the meta is and what he's doing. So if he just showed up, it makes sense they'd try to kill each other.
Yeah, I'd say that's good enough. It's definitely not anything, like, spectacular, because, like, I could have probably made it a little more dramatic than just, oh, by the way, now the meta's here, but, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, if you had fucking Ripley in a room and then just spawned a xenomorph and she's like, oh shit, and it's like, yeah, it makes sense they try to kill each other, but it's like...
This is fucking use dev commands.
Yeah. Splash spawn xenomorph.
Cammy versus Sonya. Cammy is chasing down Kano, and then Sonya stops Kano and kills him, and then they decide to kill each other.
Hey, don't you know murder's wrong? I'll murder you.
Yeah, which is funny, because, like, in Street Fighter 6, Cammy is, like, very openly, like, completely okay with the idea of killing someone if she needs to. And I'm pretty sure that is just...
yeah, I mean, she's like a hardened assassin.
She is consistently a character who is willing to kill. So, if her target gets killed, unless she was, like, searching for information from him, she wouldn't be too bothered. But even if she was, she wouldn't then go, I'm gonna kill you.
No, but Sonya being a Mortal Kombat character would probably be like, fuck you, asshole, combat time!
Fucking Defenders of the Realm, Sonya.
I really like the idea of Guile versus Liu Kang exclusively using the movies and then the cartoon spin-offs of those movies.
Oh, so, like,
because it's like... it's funny because they aired at the same time on the same channel. Like, they would air next to each other in a promotion.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, both of them are infamous because they're not good movies, but man, are they fun. And then their cartoons are just, like, so similarly just not anything like the original series. And it's clear, like, it's the design's pretty one-to-one, but not a single character is in the role or with the personality they were originally intended with.
Yeah. That said, this is game Sonya. This is Mortal Kombat, like, 3 Sonya.
Yeah.
Depending on the
I also
Sonya,
find it really funny that in the movie, he's William F. Guile, so me and my friend have made the joke that his middle name is Flash Kick.
You fucking would. I think the problem is that Sonya, depending on her, like, incarnation, doesn't tend to be that gung-ho. She's only really that way in the cartoon and Mortal Kombat 9. She's, like, killing Kano, like, offhandedly is maybe not quite what she'd do either. She'd not just, like, do it like it's an afterthought. And I think that the immediate, like, choice to attack each other and kill each other over it instead of, like, hey, you're in an obvious military uniform, who are you? At least Cammy would say that. Sonya'd be like, you're in a fucking leotard. But I mean, I guess Sonya wasn't in a military outfit either, but I think they would probably question one another first. And
yeah,
the whole,
probably.
like, Spoiler alert, you lose from my foot to your ass. I mean, what is that meant to mean? I think it's bad. It's not atrocious because the concept of how they meet is fine. I could see it leading to a fight to the death, but maybe just not the way they had it done. Now that I think about it, the obvious, like, actual setup would be that Cammy was just sent to kill Sonya.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the British government didn't like the American government, so they sent Cammy to kill Sonya Blade.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Or the funny outcome, or the funny option, which is that someone at Delta Red really hates Johnny Cage's movies and sends her to kill Johnny, and Sonya stops her. That's the funny option.
That would be pretty funny.
Tracer versus Scout. I don't know either well, so...
I mean, both of them are pretty much just hired guns to do whatever, be that fucking capture the flag, deliver the payload, whatever. So the idea of Scout has been sent to go get this thing, and Tracer has also been sent to go get this thing, and now they're at odds is pretty much the gimmick of both games. The setup's fine, it's just the rest of it.
Actually, I'm gonna say the intro is basically perfect, because it's the only time that Scout, like, runs and parkours in the whole fight. Like, when he's, like, running through the base, escaping. Alright.
I mean, I wish so badly that the only Overwatch episodes we got weren't when there was, like, fuck all to use for any of the characters.
Yeah. Ken versus Terry.
Because it's like, there's been so much since then, but at the same time,
Overwatch
is the way it is now.
You don't really want Overwatch anymore.
Yeah, it's like, man... Because it's like, we could have hit that middle spot before Overwatch 2 came out, but after all of Overwatch 1 stuff came out, which is a period of like fucking 2 years, where it's like there's a lot more content for these characters, and it hasn't quite shit the bed yet.
Yeah. This is after they've eaten dinner, but before they shat the bed.
Yeah.
We are on to Ken versus Terry, where Ken is beating the absolute dog snot out of Dan. And then Terry just shows up and is like, "Oi, you!"
You're like, let me take a crack at this.
Yeah. And, you know, Ken...
It's like, if they're just standing around fighting in the first place, then Terry stepping in, you know, whatever.
I'd say it's honestly pretty on brand for both of them.
Yeah.
And Ken's just like, yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? Is it justified fight to the death? Maybe not. But... I mean, that is kind of a big deal, I guess. It's not really a reason for them to fight to the death. And it's not like...
Beats the shit out of Dan, Terry shows up and says, "Bon knuckle!"
If it was like an accidental death, then I guess it'd be fine. So I can see it leading to a death where it's like they just go too far. I'd say honestly it's kind of a perfect intro, because I don't know what else you do for these characters beyond... They're already... Right. One of them's already doing a fight thing, and the other one's like, "Oi! That seems pretty fun." Amy versus Ramona. Sonic runs through a building, accidentally
I should join in.
Accidentally knocks Scott over. Amy runs in, and Ramona decides to fight her. No. Like, I know Ramona's got some, like... How do I even put it? She's a bit emotionally unstable. But, like... She saw a blue thing run past, knock her over, and then a pink thing walks up, obviously looking for that blue thing, and she decides to attack the pink thing. Bad. She doesn't even, like, bother to check to see if Scott's okay during that whole thing.
Especially because, like, without getting into specifics for Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, because I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen it, and obviously this was retroactive, this hadn't nearly come out since then, but, like, throughout the course of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and its strengthened focus on Ramona, a lot of the time she just doesn't really want to fight and ends up kind of having to because the other person starts to fight. But there's also, like, I don't know, it's a middle ground between not necessarily wanting to fight everyone, but also assuming she has to, and that's the only way to move the plot along, and then kind of learning that, hey, you know, talking shit out's pretty healthy.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to put it straight into atrocious, because, like, Scott is proper knocked out to the point where he doesn't move through the entire duration of the fight, and she does not care.
Yeah,
And
she doesn't check on him once.
Amy just gets angry at nothing. And then is surprised when Ramona attacks her. So she clearly wasn't even looking at Ramona with her anger. Otherwise, she wouldn't be surprised at the woman running up in wearing nothing but panties and swinging a hammer at her. Those Ramona sprites are fucking weird. Hulk Doomsday. Doomsday shows up out of butt-fuck nowhere, as he tends to do, tries to kill everything, and the Avengers send out Hulk. That's perfect. No notes.
Yeah, that's how you use these characters.
Like, you could buy, oh, why didn't they send out all the other guys? And it's like, oh, I'd assume they don't have access to them right now. Or they went, this guy's already destroying everything, we'll send the other destructive guy, and we'll just deal with the consequences later. Nothing can kill Hulk, there's no risk here. Oh, something just killed Hulk.
That sounds like a cleaning crew problem.
Yeah. I have just scrolled too far. Zoro Urza. Urza has a wanted poster for Zoro, and Zoro wanders into the wrong place by complete fucking accident, and Urza decides to take him in, and he doesn't like that.
Urza and Zoro both also kind of have that vibe about them of like, you're the strong person around here. I gotta fuck you up because that's what I do. I'm the guy that fights the strong guy.
I don't know if I'd say Urza would do that, because there are plenty of times where that happens and she doesn't fight, but I think that she's got a wanted poster for him. She would assume that he's a criminal. So...
Yeah, where it's like, given any inclination that this guy is worth pursuing, I'm sure, like, she'd be like, alright, he's got weapons, so there's probably a fight. And then Zoro's like, fuck it, you looked at me wrong.
Yeah, I'd say this is basically the perfect... probably the perfect way to do it, because it's not like some melodramatic thing. It's literally just, he's wanted, and she takes quests to capture wanted people regularly, so this is just a thing.
I've been reading more Fairy Tail, actually. I'm to chapter, I think, 166 now? I'm just to the point where Natsu has gotten the golden fire from Jalal and is fighting Zero.
I had a second moment to figure what you're at.
So,
yeah.
So he's unlocked a Dragon Force for the first time, and we're getting to see all that.
Yeah, this is the first time.
Yeah.
It's not again. The previous time was anime only.
This arc's been pretty fun so far. I'm enjoying it.
That was my favorite arc
still,
for a bit. That was my favorite arc for a while. But
I'm still quite a while away from finishing Fairy Tail's main story, let alone getting to 100-Year Quest. But I'll get there.
Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie. How do I even judge this one? Because it literally is just that Wiz and Boomstick sent him to fight.
I mean, for the setup of what the episode is, it's fine.
It's good
it works.
Enough. Season 4, Lara versus Nathan. This one in concept.
I mean, the setup itself is.
In concept,
yeah, the setup itself is not terrible, but then I don't know, because if I recall correctly, even towards like the very beginning of the fight, there's a continuity error.
Yeah,
and then it's just like I don't know if manslaughter is the immediate answer to this, but at the same time, Lara Croft, depending on the game, might not be out of the question.
Yeah, I think that, like, there are problems. Like, obviously the animation constantly swaps between like finished and unfinished. The whole thing of like Lara has guns on him and she just politely allows him to pull out his own gun and make a quip.
And then the trophy's going away from like the trophy was going away that it could not possibly have been shot at from the angle of the person who was shooting.
Yeah, I mean, that is after the fight, admittedly, but like that whole fight is full of little problems like that.
Yeah.
I think in concept it's great, but in execution, I think it's good enough. There are problems that hold it back from being truly outstanding, but it gets the job done. It's just like, it cleaned the room, but it did leave a couple stains.
Yeah.
Scrooge versus Shovel Knight. From what I've heard, it's actually not in character for Shovel Knight to act the way he did.
No, not at all.
Just from what I've heard. There's running in and stealing from a guy. And then when the guy
there was even a guy in the community who made it his whole personality to fucking be like, Shovel Knight wouldn't act like that. This is the worst death battle ever. And everyone's like, it's a death battle, man. Come on.
I mean, it's funny.
Not that deep.
It's an amusing intro.
Yeah, it's funny.
But I wouldn't say it's good. Venom versus Bane, twice. Bane is doing illegal shipment stuff, and Venom just kind of shows up to eat people. Because he's a dickhead.
Yeah, they kind of portray him as just strictly evil in both of his death battles, which is like,
I mean,
it's a little bit of a shame because I find them more morally gray.
The joke is that there was just carnage in blackface, essentially.
Yeah, like he acts a lot more like Carnage, and like, it's hard to even call Venom morally gray because a lot of what he does just isn't correct. It's more like a morally dark gray. It's more like morally wrong, but trying to do good, I guess.
I think you could argue that with Venom Bane that just the intro alone, if you ignore what Venom actually says, could be taken as him trying to do good, but the symbiote is also just making him eat these people instead of just knocking them out. So there's like a conflict.
Yeah.
But I think for Venom Bane, it is good enough. Venom Krona is where we get problems. We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Venom Bane is good enough. It's not strictly bad because it actually gets the horror aspect of Venom probably better than anything else in Death Battle, but that's really saying jack shit.
That child has a symbiote venom. What should we do? Eat the child.
Fair enough. Power Rangers versus Voltron. The Voltron force is looking for dinosaurs. They sure do find them. Fight.
Guys, I think we found the dinosaurs.
All two of them, and then the three other things that are decidedly not dinosaurs.
I remember being so excited when they revealed the voice cast for that, because it was like Peanut Butter Gamer and Space Hamster, who were like two of my favorite YouTubers at the time, Kagi Films, who was probably my single favorite at the time, and then Team 4-Star, Andre the Black Nerd. I'm like, this is just like, and MatPat, of course, and it's like, this is just a fucking entourage of some of my favorite YouTubers
like
in one of the coolest, like, it probably at the time, in my mind, the coolest death battle ever.
I still like the death battle, like, a lot. It's great.
Yeah.
The intro, though, I mean, I want to put it in perfect just because the side-by-side combination sequence is so fucking good. At the same time, would they really fight because they were both in the same location at the same time and that's it?
Probably not.
Because it is the Power Rangers who attack. They show up, and then I think it's... I remember who it is. I think it's Hunk. If that's his name. Just walks up and is like, hello! And they're like, we gotta kill these guys! Let's go! Power Rangers! And they just summon the Zords.
Yeah.
And then they're in the Zords next scene.
It's Morphin time! Kill them!
It is like, what the fuck? It's like, oh,
that's pretty consistently how the Power Rangers are displayed in Death Battle, is just fuck this other person, die.
Yeah. I think Power Rangers Voltron is... oh man, there's a conflict between the cool-ass sequence and how fucking un-Power Rangers them just showing up and killing this guy that said hello to them. He said hello inside of a giant mech. He's clearly a villain. There's no way he could be another Power Ranger from a different, like, set of mechs. Different set of Zords. Can't be that.
Yeah, fucking... It's not a great setup.
I think it's bad.
But,
I can't put it in atrocious because of how good that sequence is, but it is not a great setup.
Yeah, like, at worst, I would say it's bad. At best, I'd say it's funny.
Yeah. Natsu Ace. Ace is doing a runner because he stole food, and Natsu decides to stop him. Presumably he saw the wanted poster as well. I don't remember if they made that clear or not. And then Ace is like, no, you're not going to do that. And Natsu's like, you dickhead.
Hey, stop stealing stuff from people. No.
If I remember correctly, he asked Ace to, like, return the chicken.
Yeah,
Which...
it makes me think of there's a fucking Phantom Arcade cartoon where Luffy's like, can I be a pirate? And Shanks, in just like the fucking loudest microphone ever, goes, no.
So how we feel about Natsu Ace? It's amusing.
It's amusing, but I don't think don't think Ace is that much of an asshole.
I could see Natsu
Well,
coming in to stop him.
Ace did fucking fall asleep face first into a bowl of noodles he was eating the first time we meet him, and then wipe his mouth on the nearest woman's dress.
Okay, well, he's an
He just
arsehole.
grabbed the nearest cloth he saw, and then fucking, yeah. Like, he's pretty rude, but I
Okay.
don't know if he would just steal shit from people.
Then I'll just put it... I mean, he is a pirate, but I will just put it in just funny then. I
Yeah.
trust your judgment. Because
Yeah,
on
it's
Natsu's
just
side,
funny.
I can say it's
I
it's
will
pretty on
take-
brand for Natsu.
While we're not too far away from Power Rangers, technically not Power Rangers, Super Sentai, but I'm going to take a couple seconds to promote a matchup I've been thinking of lately. Akiba Ranger versus Great Lakes Avengers. If you don't know who those characters are, look them up. They're funny. You will enjoy Akiba Ranger. You will enjoy the Great Lakes Avengers. And if you don't, you're wrong.
If you don't enjoy Ranger, good for you. But just the description of what his fucking armor is just... It sends me. Alright, Sub-Zero...
It's so funny.
Sub-Zero Glacius. Glacius has crashed. Sub-Zero doesn't like that.
Yeah, Glacius comes along as a fucking rude puddle and then almost melts him. He's like, whoa!
I gotta put it in they showed up and fought for no reason, because that is
Yeah.
what happens. The dialogue is awful and makes no sense. But that's mostly for the rest of the fight. The intro is not as bad as that. Captain Marvel versus Android 18. Captain Marvel finds a Dragon Ball. 18 says, "Oi, give that over." And Marvel goes, "Suck my dick." Fight.
Yeah,
I say that's
not good.
For Captain Marvel, depending on the story, that is completely in character for her to just be a dickhead. For Android 18,
Yeah,
I don't know. How much does she really give a shit about Dragon Balls? I guess she would be like...
she does. She doesn't like. There's not that many things she would need them for because like the only thing 18's ever strapped for is cash, and she's friends with the richest person on the planet. So
Yeah.
and like 18's also just not that confrontational. Like, you know, if Captain Marvel picked the fight, then she'd definitely fight back. But it's like, generally speaking, 18 can be a little verbally abrasive and like a little, I guess, forward with her thoughts on things, but she's not typically like violent.
I feel like the most she would do if she saw someone random picking up a Dragon Ball is ask what they were going to do with it. As opposed to, "Hey, hand that over now."
Yeah, give me that or I would kill you.
Yeah, it's bad. Zero versus Metal Sonic. I mean, Metal Sonic is just being a menace and Zero sent to kill him. I mean, what else do you do for that?
That's what Zero does. That's his bit.
That's his thing. That's what he do. That's his party trick, everyone.
Yeah.
Where did it go? My party trick is when there's enough of these on the board, I miss where I placed them. Where...
That's a pretty good party trick.
You know, why don't you just shut the fuck up, Don?
My special... I'm Nemesis Bloodrot. My
Count
special party trick's being a daft bastard.
Lucario Renamon. Fuck, why did they fight? I think it's
This
another...
is another one where
You entered
where it's like you're in my room. Get out. No.
I think... I mean, from the way Renamon seems to act, I could see if someone says that, she'd just not care.
She's like, I don't fucking care. I'm Renamon. Come on.
I think it's good enough, but it's like you probably could have done more with that. But I'd say it's good enough.
If nothing else, Lucario has far more reason, especially if it's anything like the anime's version. Well, the
Yeah.
anime movies version of Lucario would have far more of a reason to be anywhere considered sacred ground than Gara would.
Oi, you! This is my buddy's grave. Can you go away? Maybe he shouldn't have shouldn't have died. You know.
This is my fucking. This is my brooding cave. Get out.
Balrog vs TJ combo, perfect, just perfect. It's a boxing match.
Yeah.
And they weren't gonna kill each other, but Balrog went too far, and TJ just kind of lost it and went, "Fuck you, dickhead."
He's like, fuck it, if we're both cheating.
Yeah. Silver Samurai versus the Shredder. The Silver Samurai is there, and then the Shredder sends a bunch of foot soldiers for no reason, and then he also shows up for no reason and attacks him. It's literally just an extended version of they just showed up and fought for no reason.
Go, my foot, kill him.
Why?
And the silver samurai is just like, he's just standing there, and he just hears a bunch of footsteps behind him. He turns around and he's like, huh?
Yeah. Smokey versus McGruff. Now, there is a bit of Flanderization going on with McGruff here.
Yeah.
Him being irresponsible is more so just like like something we project onto him as why he doesn't interact with the world when he time freezes, as opposed to he's actually like that, because that doesn't really fit. And Smokey getting violent over it, I don't know, he doesn't tend to get violent.
He's never been portrayed as a particularly violent guy. He's been portrayed as a little intimidating, but not violent.
I think I'm going to put in bad just because...
But I mean, at the same time,
I don't find
him being intimidating, he's a fucking grizzly bear.
Yeah, he can't help it. It's not his fault.
Like, this is a fucking... This is a bear with a shovel. That's a little intimidating. It doesn't matter who you are.
It's got a scary hat.
Yeah, he's looking at you saying, you better put out that fucking fire. If you put out that fire, it's gonna be the last thing in the woods you need to worry about.
He like very gently says, "You need to deal with that fire," and it's like,
you need to put out that fire. Trust me, boy. If you don't take care of your safety in the woods, no forest fire in the world could do what I'm gonna do to you.
That's true. I mean, because like the things he will do to you are completely different to what a forest fire would do to you. You know, generally,
grows to the size of a mountain and just fucking pulverizes them.
Generally, fire doesn't do that. Fire doesn't cut you. Fire doesn't hit you. Fire doesn't bite you. Fire certainly doesn't hit you with a shovel. It just kind of burns. That's kind of what fire do. That's its party trick. It burn. Good. We have Thor versus Wonder Woman. Thor shows up in Themyscira. Wonder Woman picks a fight because she's sexist. And Thor counters back with his own sexism. Bravo, everyone! Good job.
You're a man. I don't particularly like men.
This is another...
Who can play at that game?
You're in my home, male. So what, woman? Fight.
Yeah, it's like, well, both of them are sexist, but... she technically has more of a point that he is trespassing.
Yeah, at the same time, she knows who Thor is. Like, not necessarily Marvel Thor, though she does, but not necessarily Marvel Thor. She knows who Thor, the god of thunder, is. She is in, like, good relations with him. And this guy with lightning and a big hammer shows up and godly divine aura. It's like, are you Thor? She can tell when someone's a god.
You look markedly more, you look markedly more like a Pantene model than I remember.
Like, she can tell when someone's a god. And why is he there? And why is it that when he shows up and the person fucking usually in charge of the place is there, he doesn't go like, "Oh, yes, we have business. I must talk with you."
He shows up on the shore. She's like, "Whoa there, pal. Where's your god card? You're going to have to show me some ID, man." And he's like, "Oh, my bad." And he pulls out his god card. He's like, "All right, come on through."
The Thor driver's license? I'll kill you! I think it's bad.
The Thor credit card!
I think it's bad. It's just not a good... It's just not right. Especially because Wonder Woman's like one of the nicest members of the Justice League outright.
Yeah. I mean...
Like, she is like
there's a lot of nice members of the Justice League, but there's also a lot of them that just aren't typically the most jolly.
I mean, like, the only one who's probably, like, overall nicer than her is Superman. Because, like, she is, like, an embodiment of compassion and kindness. It's bad. I'd
argue Martian Manhunter and Red Tornado are also pretty kind, just because Martian Manhunter's been through enough shit. He doesn't need any more, like, ill will or, like, violence going on there. And then it's like, Red Tornado just isn't programmed to be a bad guy.
Yeah, but there's also, like, a not-so-nice soul that also is in him.
He's alright.
This is your turn.
Well,
Naruto Ichigo.
What? Naruto Ichigo. Hold on, let me think. Fucking okay. Naruto's sleeping under a waterfall.
Naruto is sleeping under a waterfall while meditating. Ichigo shows up, and then Naruto notices him, and Ichigo's already attacking him for no reason.
Wrong. Kurama notices him and is like, "Naruto, wake the fuck up."
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
that's
Ichigo,
not much of a reason to fight at all.
I'd say that's, from
Where
what
it's
I know of
it's
Ichigo,
like
that's pretty fucking bad.
yeah, because it's like I can imagine Ichigo sensing Kurama and then thinking that was a hollow, but as soon as he shows up, he's like, "Well, that doesn't look like a hollow. Could this guy be like a visored? Could it be an Arankar? Either way, he's made friends with plenty of those." Uh, and then Kurama's like, "Naruto, wake up, kill this guy."
I mean,
And Naruto's like, "Fuck, all right."
I mean, I guess I could see Kurama saying that, but I feel like Naruto, by like the end of Shippuden, would maybe have a little bit of a, why exactly do I want to do that?
Naruto's like, "Who is that?" He's like, "Doesn't matter, kill him." He's like, I don't want to just kill a stranger, Kurama."
I mean, if Naruto like bumped into him because he's invisible and like started like swinging his hands and like hit Ichigo, I mean that might be more. That would probably be more justification than Ichigo attacks him because he was sitting under a waterfall.
Yeah, even then, Ichigo would probably just be like, "Hey, stop!
I'm blah, blah, blah.
I'm here. Please don't hit me."
Yeah.
Ow.
Right, Batman Beyond is Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man 2099 is brooding, and Batman Beyond flies past, and I think he like breaks the thing that Spider-Man 2099 is brooding on, so he swings after him and decides to pick a fight. I'm gonna actually quickly go check the episode to make sure I'm getting that right, because I have watched like all these episodes like 10 times, and that should say something about the ones I don't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Why is it that when I look for these episodes now, what first comes up is like the animation re-uploaded, but not the fight, not the episode itself.
Alright, campers, today's challenge is to remember how Batman Beyond vs. 2099 started, who instigated the fight, and what happened.
I'm pretty sure I've got it correct. Because I never forget.
You have 5 minutes to check the video. The first team with the answer automatically gets a marshmallow.
I got it the other way around. Terry is standing on a thing, and then Miguel swings under and accidentally breaks the gargoyle he's standing on, and then Terry's like, "Oi, you! Fuck off, mate!"
Bruce, it's been 5 years. You still owe me $12. Fuck off.
Yeah, that might as well be what the why they fight. For all this fucking makes sense. Yeah, Bruce.
I'm gonna say that's bad.
Bruce tells Terry that there have been some odd reports in the city, and Terry just assumes that it's the Mexican guy.
Yeah. Terry, there's a fucking bug on the wall. Kill it.
Okay. Sephiroth versus Virgil. Virgil is doing nothing in particular. Sephiroth shows up, is like, "Hey, you're strong. I want to kill you." Yeah, I mean, to be honest.
For a standard Sephiroth activity, you're in the area. Sephiroth is also in the area. Don't expect to last long.
You look powerful. Yeah, well, you don't. That should have been the whole intro.
You look like you look like you could just like a sword could go right through your chest and like it wouldn't even like be out of place.
And Virgil's like, Virgil's like, "That makes one of us." And then they fight.
You have a really stabbable torso. Who starts a conversation like that?
I've underestimated how long this will take. I might have to go in like 20 minutes, but I think I can get through season 5.
I don't know you.
Yes, you do, Don. We've known each other for years.
What's the next spell, Purple Man?
Black Panther versus Batman. Batman drives up to the zoo, and Black Panther decides to kick his ass.
I'll say, Batman kind of just fucking grooving in his car, listening to the music. Kind of a vibe. I got my car up and running again recently and listened to music on the radio for the first time while driving in quite a while.
I use CDs, but
I relate.
You underestimate how big my fucking CD cabinet is.
My CD player in my car I just don't think works, but my Bluetooth does.
My CD cabinet has 8 spaces. Each one can fit 3 columns of CDs, and then I also put another 3 columns of CDs in front of those ones. So there's 6 columns of CDs multiplied by 8. So that's 48 columns.
I just don't have
like
that
10
much music.
CDs.
I think I have
So that's 480.
I have 2 or 3
CDs,
albums.
and then there's more in the.
I have 2 or 3 albums from Yes. I have Stevie Wonder's Talking Book, I think. I have Evil Empire. I have Toxicity. And I have the fucking the 1989 Batman soundtrack of all things.
Speaking of toxicity, we're about to go into toxic fangirl mode because Twilight summons Raven by accident. Raven's playing with her My Little Pony toys, and then she gets mad and decides to kill one of those toys when she comes across it. For no reason other than...
That's like playing with a Sonic toy. Sonic the Hedgehog shows up and you try to break his legs.
Yeah, which I mean, for a Sonic fan, that would be pretty on par. Atrocious. Very bad.
He's like, oh, you have my merchandise. You must be a fan of the game. I'll fucking kill you. I'll rip your limbs from your torso. He's like, oh, God.
Oh, God. Season 5 is starting off really bad. Jotaro Kenshiro. Jotaro is walking through the desert. Kenshiro shows up and decides to stand in front of him for a while. And then they decide to kill each other.
You look suspicious.
Literally,
I don't like your hat.
Kenshiro's there. And then Joseph is like, oi! And then Jotaro's like, hey, I'll kill him. And Kenshiro's like, yeah, try it, mate. Why does this happen?
He's like, yeah, okay, buddy. I'm Kenshiro.
Yeah, that's just atrocious. That's so off-brand. Jotaro doesn't go looking for fights, neither does Kenshiro. They fight when they gotta.
It's that, like, I like to imagine when like, a character's like, yeah, okay. It's the same level of, like, zero confidence, like, in the fucking Team 4-star Boobits, where it's, we need everybody on Earth to join together. We need someone to rally a speech. Vegeta's like, stand aside, I'll make this speech. And King Kai's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Vegeta, let's see it.
Crash versus Spyro. Spyro is there, so is Crash. Sparks shows up. Crash kills Sparks. Spyro waits 7 seconds and then reacts and decides to kill Crash.
Crash being a fucking goblin just swatting a random bug, I think makes sense, and then Spyro would be pretty reasonably upset.
I think it's good. I can't say it's perfect because, like, in execution, it's a bit awkwardly paced. And also,
yeah,
Spyro's like, Sparks, no! Is way funnier than it probably should be.
Yeah.
Season 5 coming in with a banger is at any point. Sora Pit. Sora is there, Pit shows up, they fight.
Yeah, they're in a fucking coliseum.
Frank West versus Leon Kennedy. Frank West, in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, decides to go robbing stores, and Leon decides he should be stopped.
I like to imagine Mickey showed up a little bit after that death battle happened. He's like, hot dog, Sora, what's been oh, Did you kill someone, Sora? That guy's dead. There's a hole through his head.
Don, if you wanted to show off your Mickey voice, you could have just waited for Mickey versus Yoda.
I could have, but what if we don't get to that one during this recording session?
We probably won't. So, Frank West, Leon Kennedy. I have been led to believe that Frank is out of character here, and I am led to believe, off common sense, that Leon would probably be more focused on the zombie apocalypse over the one guy stealing from stores that are no longer active.
Hey, you, stealing is wrong. Stop robbing this store. He's like, this whole city's like there's not a single like actual fucking non-zombie person here left. Who exactly am I stealing from? Who am I hurting with this crime?
The economy.
What economy? What economy? Look around us.
I'm going to shoot you.
I'm going to shoot you.
Fight.
It'll make me... It's like, why? It'll make me feel good about myself. I'm a strong boy.
It's just not... It's just really bad. It makes no sense, just in general. Strange versus Fate. Strange is chilling, and then Fate shows up like, I gotta kill you. Because there can't be two Sorcerer Supremes in this existence. And Strange is like, that's a bit strange.
To be fair, it's not unheard of for Dr. Fate to just fucking show up, say, this thing needs to happen because Cryptic bullshit.
This is a problem, and killing you is the solution. That is on par with Fate.
Yeah, Fate shows up, he's like, something bad is happening, and the only solution is something that sounds unreasonable. They're like, yeah, but is there another way around it? He's like, I'm the fucking yellow helmet guy, okay? This is like my whole this is my job. I am given cosmic awareness of all the shit that's going to happen and how we have to fix it. Every time I'm right, stop questioning me. If there's anyone that knows how to solve this shit, it's me. Let me do my fucking job. Get off my ass, okay?
He's just like, this is a problem, this is the solution. Are you sure there's no better solution? I'm the guy with... Who's the guy with the big yellow hat, okay? Ain't you, is it? It's me!
They're like, surely there's gotta be some sort of non-violent workaround. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Oh yeah, there's a non-violent...
I'm three people.
There's a non-violent
All three people are
workaround.
privy to more information than you will ever know in your life.
The non-violent workaround is we don't kill this person and everything dies. Would you prefer that? You know, we could just forego the violence and do that instead. Let's all get together and die as one. Happy to know that we didn't do any
Which one of
violence.
us has an omniscient god inside of our brain,
Do you even know what a Nabu is, mate? Do you know what that is? You ever even heard the word? Didn't think so.
What's the magic you can cast, Green Lantern? You don't even do magic. You just make light construct. You make constructs out of what? Willpower? What is willpower? I have actual god magic.
Oh, you're gonna make some constructors throw at me. Yeah, I could do that with a paper mache, okay? You're not special.
Nice ring, dipshit. Wear something of substance like a fucking helmet.
Yeah, he's got an amulet too, which is bigger than the ring.
Yeah.
I would put it in good enough because I think to be perfect, Fate would show up while Strange is doing something just completely random and would say, "Nah, what you're doing is that's ruining order," and then Strange would go, "Yeah, it sure is," and then Fate would go, "Can you stop that?" Strange would go, "I'll fix it after," and Fate would go, "No, you won't," and then that's why they fight. Just
I can literally see the outcome of things. This is going to fuck everything up. He's like, listen, the amount of times I've dealt with this kind of shit, it'll be cool. Just trust the process. He's like, the process is about to be me ripping your fucking spine out of your back if you don't, like, listen to me.
Yeah, that should have been the intro, is them just, like, having a dispute over something that is super important, as if it was, like, two guys trying to figure out what they're gonna have for lunch later.
The idea of Doctor Strange just being like a fucking stressed parent, constantly having to tend to shit and nobody listening to him and just making his job harder sounds really funny.
Look, Mr. Helmet Man, everyone's always second guessing me, I just don't want to deal with it. Oh, you don't want to deal with it, huh? You don't want to deal with it. Really?
I'm the ruler of the seas. I am the king of Atlantis. If something were happening in the ocean, I'd be the first to know. Okay, that's nice and all, Aquaman. Actual god inside of my brain. I can see the future. Something's gonna just take a precautionary measure. He's like, fear not, Atlantis' armies are strong. Yeah, that's what we thought the last 13 times, and Atlantis got destroyed. So, maybe a little bit of forethought, a little bit of preventative measure. You know, be a little proactive. It couldn't hurt.
Yeah, I've got the god helmet. All you've got is the god stick. Okay, man.
Yeah, a nice fork there, dipshit.
Just because you got two forks doesn't mean you're special. That just means you're an idiot. Get a fucking knife.
Oh, look at me, Aquaman. I can eat a gigantic medium rare steak.
I just like.
I can feed the rest of what I don't have to my pet shark.
Alright, we're actually onto a banger of an intro, because it's basically perfect. It's Ryu versus Jin. It's just, they decide to fight because that's what they do. I can't even put it in, they showed up to fight for no reason, because, like, that is the reason. The reason they fight is because one is Ryu and the other is Jin.
Fighting is Ryu's entire reason.
Samurai Jack
That's the reason there's Ryu.
Yeah, his name shouldn't be Ryu, it should be, like, the Japanese word for fight, instead of dragon. Sorry, his full name's Ryu.
He's Dragon, look at him.
Alright, we got Samurai Jack.
Yeah, he's Dragon Star.
We got Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai. They walk across a bridge and they stop when they smell the blood on each other's swords and they decide to have a fight.
Oh, you smell like shit. Oh, you did not just say you're gonna die now.
So you think this is perfect, because that's a pretty accurate depiction.
I think it's kind of funny.
I think it's... I don't dislike this. I don't know either of them well enough. I think Afro probably would, from what I know, pick a fight over
I think for the sake of telling a samurai story in general, it works, because you see that kind of shit in samurai movies a lot of, like, I can smell the blood on your sword. You've killed a lot of people.
Alright, Carnage versus Lucy. New is about to take a train, unsupervised, so someone's fucked up there. Then everyone turns out to be dead, and Carnage is like, ooh, look, someone else to kill. Jumps at her, and then Lucy takes over and is like, no, don't do that.
He peeks out of the train and is like, hey, kid, want to see a dead body? She's like, no. And then he jumps out and tries to get her.
I just imagine you like, no, and then he jumps out, and Lucy's like, no. Just completely different.
I said no. Just fucking obliterates him.
I think that's basically the perfect intro. I don't really know how you do it better than Carnage is going to kill her. And then Lucy's like, don't do that. Stop that. Just slaps him on the wrist. No. Bad. Bad Carnage.
Slaps him on the wrist, takes his wrist off.
Bad Red Blood Man. Optimus Prime versus Gundam. Amuro cuts through the hull of a ship and wanders around. Then Optimus is like, hey, I'm going to kill this guy. And decides to murder him.
Freedom is the right of all living things. Shoots him in the brain.
Except you, dickhead. And he assumes he's a Decepticon by the fact that he looks nothing like a Transformer and doesn't have a Decepticon logo on him.
I find the idea funny of, like, Optimus Prime, like, if he were saying completely in-character quotes, talking about how, like, freedom and justice and, like, protect peace at all costs, violence isn't always the answer, or, like, a life is more precious than anything else, while he's just beating this guy to death.
I just imagine, vile Decepticon, and Amuro's like, what the fuck is that supposed to be? I don't know what that is!
He's like, oh, cool, the Earth Federation has new slurs for us.
I just picture, he sees this guy, this thing that's obviously a truck that turned into a robot. He's like, that's a mobile suit. Really?
It's like, man, Xeon Forces just keep getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah. Alright, Nightwing Daredevil. Daredevil is putting a briefcase into the boot of a car. Nightwing wants it. Fight.
Give me the briefcase. What? Who are you? Give me the briefcase. Do you even know what's in it? I don't care. Give me the briefcase.
Yeah, that's what they fight over. They don't even, like, take a moment to talk about it.
They don't take a what?
A moment to talk about it.
Oh my
moment to talk about it.
Moment.
It's bad.
Yeah, bad. Yeah, it sucks.
I can't say absolutely atrocious because, like, they can be assholes sometimes, but it's bad. Mario versus Sonic 2. Mario is at a beach. He's gonna have a little relaxation. Sonic takes his chair.
Daredevil versus Nightwing would have been better if he called him Dick Butt?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, fuck it, yeah. Mario's in a chair, Sonic flips him over, and he's like, fuck you!
No, that's not what happens. Sonic lies on his chair. Mario's like, hello! That's mine! And Sonic's like, finders keepers, pal! Mario slams the back of the chair on him, then flips the chair over, and Sonic's like, hey! Fuck you! And Mario's like, no, fuck you!
And then he rips his shirt off, and then he rips his skin off.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very in character for either of them.
No. I mean, Sonic can be a bit of an asshole, but I could see instead if he sits on the chair and Mario's like, that's mine! And Sonic's like, oh, really? And then he shows off his speed and, like, just builds a second one out of nowhere. And he's like, hey, now that one's yours. That's the most I could imagine in that situation. Is he just shows off instead of being an asshole. I think it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think it's quite bad. I think it's significantly worse than the original. Because at least the original was out of character, but it was like 2 lines as opposed to an entire interaction.
I feel like in the original they also just, like, behaved more like Mario and Sonic, generally speaking, where it's like, even if there wasn't a whole lot of character in it, it's like, that's closer to a version of either of them than this one was.
Yeah. Alright, a banger, Ultron Sigma. Sigma is doing his thing, and then Ultron's like, "I'm gonna take you over because I do that." And Sigma's like, "Yeah, you and one army," and he's like, "Me."
I like the idea of Ultron being like, I'm gonna take you over because I do that. It's like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna hack you. It's like, who do you think you are, Ultron? Hey, I take you over.
Sigma's like, "No, you're not gonna do that. I have this mental.
I am.
This
yeah.
firewall defense." And Ultron's like, "No, you don't." And just like the fucking pro ZD Thanos skit where he's like, "Haha, well, we destroyed the stone." No, you don't. No, you didn't. It's just that. But it's Sigma like, "I have this firewall that can stop you," and Ultron's like, "No, you don't." I mean, it's perfect. No. Like, how do you do a better intro than that? Then Ultron's like, "Ooh, a tasty AI to take over," and Sigma's like, "Why don't you just fucking take over some bitches?" And then they fight.
I'm the ultimate machination. I am the ultimate culmination of machine kind. No, I am.
You're the ultimate combination of beta male AI chatbots. That's all you are.
It's like, oh yeah. Well, I was created by a bug man. I'm better than you.
Yeah.
He put his thoughts in my brain. I'm not built right.
I'm built faulty, and I'm still built better than you. So
I have a lightsaber. Yeah, well, my body is made out of the best metal. You lose.
My body is coated in the strongest metal known to man.
Oh yeah, well, I can hack and possess anything now. Now I'm better.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably anything until I showed up. Now it's anything but that one thing that is most important.
Nah, I'd win.
It's literally just Sigma trying to come up with the most Sigma male responses, and Ultron's like, "No, nope."
He just keeps cutting him off with these super fucking uninterested, boring responses, and Sigma's like, "You're not playing into my dialogue at all. I'm not having fun with this."
Ultron's like, "Yeah, good. I'm glad."
All right, now time for our banter. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure where to go with that.
But instead of the scream, it's just Ultron going, "No, it's not."
No banter. I'm just gonna kill you. You're just gonna die.
I mean, you can go ahead and banter if you want, but I'm not gonna play off it. So
Yeah. You can talk if you want, but I'm gonna while you're doing that, I'm gonna hack you. So
you're gonna what now? Yeah, I've already hacked you. Ah, shit. We're on to Roshi versus Jiraiya. Roshi walks in to buy some porn.
This porn fucking sucks! No, die!
Mad over the porn. And so Jiraiya has a hissy fit and they fight.
Yeah, pretty much. Which it's
pretty on brand.
That's not super in character, I wouldn't say, because it's
not in character, but it is on brand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, usually when Roshi gets new porn, he sends someone else to go get it. Roshi would never be seen off his island in public. But there's also the fact that, one, I don't think Jiraiya would try to kill someone over them insulting his porn. And two, I don't think Roshi would just say that to someone's face, because it's Roshi's a pervert, but he's not he's not a confrontational, violent asshole.
You had to take a moment to think about where you were going to go with that.
Well, I'm just trying to think of the way to put it that most succinctly describes it, because it's yeah, Roshi's not a great person, but he's also not that fucking forward and just rude to everyone he meets.
I would put it in funny though. It is a funny reason for the fight. And
it's definitely funny.
Last one for the day: Thanos versus Darkseid. Deadpool pawns off Thanos' chair to Darkseid. Darkseid, some reason, is okay with that, and he's gonna buy the chair. And then Thanos shows up. Fight.
I was like, "Give me back my fucking chair, Wade. You can't steal my girl, then steal my chair. But the chair's all I have, dude. Okay."
Oh, I don't have the chair anymore. It belongs to this guy. You're gonna fucking die. And Darkseid's like, "I actually really like this chair."
Yeah, I this is my chair now. It's what? What do you mean that's your chair? He stole it from me. You can't buy it off him after he stole it from me. He's like, I mean, can you prove it was yours? It's
That's it has my name on the back. And he runs over and he sees a sticker on top of it that says property of Deadpool.
He's like, "God damn it.
God damn it, you got me again."
What are you gonna do? Curse me to be immortal again? Look how well that worked out last time.
Fuck you, I'm just gonna kill you this time. I didn't think that through at all.
Whoops.
Because now he's with Death. And then Darkseid's like, no, he's banging your chick.
He stole your girl, dude. That's tough.
Sucks to suck it, doesn't it? I mean, not that I
Thanos is like, man. It's funny because it's like, specifically in Super Friends, right? Darkseid's like whole bit is he has like a big crush on Wonder Woman, and she's just like, fuck you, you're evil, you're gross.
You're like a gross rock face guy.
She's like, I don't know what you are, but you're like mean and gray, like, so I'm not into you.
I don't know what you are, but I don't like it. And he's like, oh, well, the racism just turns me on.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of into all things evil and wrong and bigoted, so...
I'm into this shit. I like it. As for the actual episode we're talking about, I'm wondering how Darkseid got in that situation at all.
I mean, he probably just got bored, decided to play along.
Yeah, I mean, as like the problem, I guess, is that Deadpool does not need to be there. I think it would have been funnier if Thanos had just left, and in the time he was gone, Darkseid just decided the chair was his now.
Yeah, he just fucking boom tubed to the chair and sat on it. Thanos comes back, he's like, who the fuck are you? Get off my chair!
It'd be a lot funnier, yeah. Like, imagine the
you're
intro.
Supposed to be in jail, and you're supposed to be dumpster diving for ham scraps, you six-piece chicken McNobody. Get out of my chair!
The intro should have been Thanos looks at his gauntlet, he's missing one stone, he's like, this won't take long. Leaves, and then we stay looking at the chair, Darkseid boom tubes into it, Thanos comes back, he's like, yeah, that was pretty easy. Who the hell are you?
I was gone for 4 seconds!
That's 4 seconds too long, loser.
Speaking of 4, I have a mathematical equation that can prove why life is meaningless. He's like, I already know my life is meaningless. Like, my end goal is to fuck death itself.
Darkseid's like, hey, I'll go fuck her instead. And then they fight.
It's like, wait, you can fuck death? That's a thing?
That should have been the intro. Just Darkseid takes his chair. He doesn't get it off Deadpool. He just decided it was his now.
I think it'd be really funny if Thanos was going to try to sit down on it and he just boom tubes and fucking swipes the chair and he misses and he's like, fuck!
You dickhead!
Like, you fucking new gods.
Filthy fucking new gods. Darkseid's like, whoa there, buddy. That's my shtick.
Oh, cooler with the racism there, pal. He's like, you are the literal embodiment of evil. I don't want to hear it.
You have a point for once. Thanos with a point.
Thanos actually kind of spitting just this one time.
Thanos gets up off the floor and is like, oh, I don't want to hear it from you, buddy. In the time it took for you to say that, you probably just invented a new slur towards my species. Darkseid's like, yeah, well...
Yeah, in the time it took you to say that, you probably incited several genocides at once.
Yeah.
He's like, you got me.
Oh,
what can I say?
You got me, you. Oh, you understand me so well, so you know exactly why I'm gonna fucking kill you now. No hard feelings.
He's
there.
like, yeah, what?
Yeah, what? I still, like
halfway through saying the word what, he just gets fucking Omega beamed.
Thanos Darkseid has its problems, but Darkseid countering the Infinity Gauntlet with his, like, face is not one of them.
Yeah, that's really funny. I think the idea of him getting Omega beamed and then just, like, fucking Half-Life 2 Combine Rifle just fucking disintegrating would be really funny. It's like, I am the Mad Titan. I am the wielder of the Infinity Gauntlet. I have crushed countless universes. Who do you think you are? And then he just gets a laser, just...
He gets evaporated, and after that, Darkseid responds to his question with, I'm bored.
Who do you think I'm fucking bored.
The best part is that after Thanos dies, we know he's just gonna get cock-blocked. That's all that happens after.
He fucking like the Omega Beam goes through Thanos, and then it just keeps like spiraling off into the depths of space. Thanos arrives in the afterlife. He's like, "Lady Death, I finally arrived to you." And then the Omega Beam just comes back around from behind him and does it again.
He just dies repeatedly. Not because it's
It's
the
like,
effect of his
fuck!
death, because Darkseid just sees
It's
him
like,
there and just decides to.
I can't win when I win. I can't win when I lose. These cheating ass motherfuckers. I'm so tired of it.
There's a fucking like picks up his phone and like films like a YouTube breakdown.
I swear to God, let him strike me down if I'm wrong, but this motherfucker is cheating!
And then he gets smited down.
He gets Omega Beamed again.
It's a bigger one this time, even bigger than the last one.
I literally have a stone that allows me to scan all of 3D space and 4D space, and he's not fucking here! Where is he? He's not real!
You just see his Darkseid's voice going, "Where am I? I'm banging your mom," and then blasts him again.
I'm fucking your mom.
Joke's on you! My mom's dead! Which means I'm better at doing what you're trying to do.
The very fabric of existence itself has decided to smite me.
That's Thanos' life now. Someone brings him back to life, and then he just dies again.
Like, stop it! Stop it!
Man, it's not even an Omega Beam that time, it's just a giant boot.
Yeah.
I'm back!
It's like, I think I'm finally good, and just like fucking an enormous continent-sized hand comes down and then just squishes him with his thumb.
No, you're not.
It's just like a huge fucking thumb crater, just, and then it like moves up, and Thanos is just embedded in the ground. He's like, I'm so fucking tired of this. I'm so sick of this shit.
It's fucking this is what we should have seen within the Omega Sanction.
It's just Darkseid fucking with him.
Darkseid is being a.
I think what would have been really funny is if it mirrored that one like comic issue where it's Thanos visiting a dude every year on his birthday and ruining his life in various ways, taking those scenarios and doing the same to Thanos. Like, oh, it's your birthday, your dog's dead. Oh, it's your birthday, you got fired from your job. And it's like, instead of just dying over and over again in his Omega Sanction, he just keeps like just getting fucked over.
Just every day. Oh god. Alright. So, with that in mind, on the actual death battle that we've now succinctly proved is not nearly as funny as it should have been, where does it go? I think it's good enough. It does the job.
It alright.
Man, season 5 like just did not have a good day today.
I thought you were gonna end it just did not have a good day. I'm like, I think it was a little longer than that. I think it came out over a little longer span of time than that.
And I guess, because I probably need to go relatively soon, we will do seasons 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tomorrow maybe. I don't know.
At some point.